Hello, welcome back to Vibewithviv Relationship Coaching. That stands for Vision, Inspiration, Belief, and Empowerment. My name is Vivian, and what I do is I help you heal from toxic relationship heartbreak, help you rediscover, redefine who you are so that you can truly live the life that you desire and have the love life that you want for yourself. So if this is you, I want to say welcome. I'm so excited to have you back on today. If you're a new subscriber, I want to say thank you for coming back on and watching. If you're an old subscriber, I want to thank you again for watching. If you're new, I'm so excited to have you on nevertheless. So today what we're going to be talking about is how do you know that you have met the one? So that is a big topic on a lot of people's mind, and I've been there too before I got married, is how do I know that the person I am with is the one? So on this day that I'm recording this video, it's actually our anniversary, and I was like, what a better day to record a video of how do you know that the person you're with is the one, because it can be so stressful to try to determine that. But before I get into some of the signs that indicates that you've met your one, I want to just debunk a myth that's kind of out there, that the whole notion that there's only one person out there for you. So sometimes we get stuck in the idea that I am in this relationship, this is my only match. And because of that, we stay in toxic and unhealthy relationship with the fear that there's no one else out there for us. That is not the case. Can you imagine a world where there's about 1 million people to think that there's only one match, perfect match out there for you? That's a lie. So don't let that myth, don't let that fear keep you in unhealthy and toxic relationships, thinking that there's only one person out there for you. That is not the case. So what will tend to happen is that different people will come your way, and you get to determine who your one is. That's exactly what it is. You decide who your one is. How does that person match you? How does that person complement you? And then you decide. So a lot of times we think that our one, like God decides that one for us, which in some cases we can see that God's presence or directions may come in. But if God was to pick your one, that would give you the ability to blame God for what is happening in your relationship. Rather, he gives you free will. He gives you a choice to decide who your one is. He will bring different people your way that you get to determine who is your one for you. So again, debunking the myth that there's only one person out there for you and there's no other match. That's a lie. You get to decide, and there are multiple people that could be a match with you at different levels. It comes with knowing yourself first, and then now deciding if that person you're with can match up with you, and not staying in a relationship thinking that there's only one person out there and not realizing that you need to give yourself an opportunity to explore other options. So I just want to debunk some of those myths before we dive into some of the signs that indicates who you've met the one. So let's start with the first one. How do you know that you've met the one and who your one is? So one of the biggest things for me is having peace. And I remember even this with my relationship, one of the biggest things again was just knowing that there was a sense of peace and ease with the relationship. So the question for you right now is, do you have peace with your relationship? When you're with this person, do you feel like all the cares of the world just kind of goes away and you don't really have to worry about anything? So your relationship should not be hard. It should not be struggling, especially in the beginning when like you're, learning each other. It's fun. It's exciting. You're exploring new things, traveling, doing different things. It should be fun. It should be exciting. There should be a sense of peace and ease with that relationship. So do you have peace with your relationship? Do you both have peace? Is there ease in the relationship? It should not be hard. And I remember talking about this with one of my girlfriends before I got married. And I was just telling her, I'm like, I just love spending time in his presence. And just that statement itself took her aback and was like, wow, like you love spending time in his presence? That says that you love him. And I didn't actually realize that until now that I think about it, being in my Christian background, we tend to enjoy to spend time in the Lord's presence or in God's presence. So to enjoy spending time in another person's presence, that's like you're communing with that person's presence. You're enjoying their communion. You're enjoying your time together, your communication together. So do you have peace? Right? Do you feel at home where all the cares of the world are kind of gone away? Because if you do, that can indicate that the person you're with is potentially the one for you. So thought number one, do you have peace? And now the second sign is you want to make sure that you guys share the same goals and values. So I recall when I was in my dating process trying to, get married, etc., it's like you want to check to make sure your shared goals regarding how many kids you want, what does life at home look like for you, what are your future goals, what are your values, what does respect look like, what does love look like, what is your religion, what's the background of that, do you guys share the same religion, do you guys don't? Because you want to make sure you're not totally the same, but you want to have complementary values and goals, and you can see each other in you guys' future. Because if you don't have that, you can't build together. So do you have mutual goals? Do you have shared values? What does the home look like? What does dinner look like? What does family time look like? Who is working? Is someone staying at home, right? So you want to ask all those questions from the beginning to make sure you're on the same page. And if you're able to come to a mutual understanding regarding your shared goals and values, and you can see yourself in their future and vice versa, it's a potential you have met the one. And now with that, in addition to that, that leads to the third sign, which is, are you able to be yourself in their presence? So we talked a little bit about peace and enjoying their presence. And now the third one is, can you be your authentic self, right? Can the person be their authentic self around you? Can that person see you for who you truly are and appreciate you for who you truly are, and vice versa? Because you can't be in a relationship where you can't really speak your mind, you can't vocalize what's really going on the inside of you. So if you aren't able to truly be you, then it is not for you. But if you're able to be your authentic self, you're able to build a friendship, you guys can laugh about things, you guys can joke about things, it's not super serious and uptight, right? If you have that foundation of being yourself and having friendship, that is a good success plan for a healthy relationship, and it can indicate a long-lasting relationship. So can you be yourself around them? Do you have a mutual just friendship with that person where it's not hard to communicate, it's not hard to understand each other, So do you have peace? Are you guys having shared goals and mutual values? Can you be yourself around them? And now the fourth one is, does this person challenge you to be your best self? So now when two people come together, right, we're not exactly necessarily the same, but we're willing to grow together, right? We don't come into a relationship necessarily being perfect, but we should be healthy. And at the same time, being able to challenge each other to grow, to be better in different areas. Now, this is something that I really looked for in my husband, someone who was a leader and could guide me through that life, be a support in that life, and vice versa, where we can help each other grow in different areas. So right now, I want you to ask yourself, are you able to grow with this person? Can this person help you grow? Can you help them grow? Because if you can, then it's a potential that this person is for you. So now the next sign is, even with their imperfections and with your imperfections, are they still willing to choose to love you? So I'm saying choose because love is an emotion. Sometimes we don't feel love, right? But we have to choose to love. So now the question is, even with this person seeing your imperfections and vice versa, seeing their imperfections, are you feeling like you're able to still choose to love that person even through their imperfections and perfections? Because again, love is an emotional state sometimes, and we have to choose to love even when it is tough to love. And that comes with the imperfections and with the perfections. So does that person see your imperfections and still love you regardless? And if that's a yes, then it's a potential that you have met your one. And now the next sign is, how do you handle misunderstanding? How do you handle challenges, right? If you handle challenges in a way where it's conducive, you come up with a form of how to move forward after that challenge, you're able to listen to each other's sides and have a healthy way of problem solution, then that's a potential sign that you have a healthy relationship with this person, and that person can be the one. But if you're having a misunderstanding and one person's ghosting another person, doing the silent treatment, ignoring calls, phone calls, or little, misunderstandings blow up into big arguments, then that person may not likely be the best for you, because you guys don't have a healthy way of handling challenges and having misunderstandings, which can lead to a toxic cycle. cycle. So how do you handle misunderstandings? How do you handle tough conversations? If you're able to go through them in a way that you're able to, come up with a new form of how to move forward to resolve the issue and in a healthy way, then that's a good sign for you. And last but not least, another sign that can help you indicate if you found the one is this person healthy? Because at the end of the day, you want to have a healthy person individually before you can mutually come together. And what I mean by healthy is, are they able to take accountability for their own self, for their emotions? Are they able to verbalize when they're wrong? Are they able to recognize when they need space, and can they communicate that? And also for you, are you in a healthy place, right? Are you able to acknowledge your feelings, express your feelings, let go of things that don't necessarily need to be, causing misunderstandings? Are you a healthy person, and are they a healthy person? Because at the end of the day, it takes two healthy people to make a relationship work. And there will be some bumps along the ways, right? We're not saying that when you find the one, there's nothing that'll happen, but there can be some bumps along the way. But if you have these things that I just talked about, right, some of the basics of what forms a healthy relationship, then you guys will be able to overcome those obstacles so that you can move forward and continue your relationship. So these are just some signs to help you identify if you've met the one. Again, don't forget that at the end of the day, you get to decide who your one is. And right now, if you're in an unhealthy relationship and your thought is that there's no one else out there for me, or maybe you're thinking that this person is my one and I need to, suck up these abuse, the emotional trauma, the silent treatment, those kind of things, the lies and the cheating because this is my one. I hope you realize that some of the signs I just talked about are healthy signs of relationship, and you can use that to determine if that relationship is healthy for you, and to not feel stuck that you don't have a one out there, because you absolutely do. But you get to decide who that one is for you. So if this video was encouraging to you, I want you to give it a like. I want you to subscribe, share with someone who may benefit from it. And if you need support on this, I do offer coaching services. So one-on-one coaching where we would meet virtually. I would love to be an encouragement and support you along your journey. So please let me know, send me a message, and you can also follow me on Instagram at Vibewithviv. So until next time, that was Vibewithviv. Thank you and see you soon.